Welcome to Inside the Ivy on Sports Report Radio. Darius Hill, welcome to Inside the Ivy on Sports Report Radio.
Thanks for having me, Kyle.
Hey, Darius, let's talk a little bit about your career with the Cubs at this point. You played in Eugene, correct? You were in Eugene last year, part of the year up at Eugene?
Yes.
And then you finished in South Bend?
Correct.
What's it like for you to put on that Cubs uniform, to think, man, I'm in the Chicago Cubs organization?
That's really special. I mean, being from Dallas, being a baseball fan my whole life, you're familiar with the Cubs, but until you're really in the organization and you see just how much support and how just the quality of the organization that exists there, you really grow to appreciate everything that's there for you. And it's such a first-class organization with how everything's done, the players, the coaches, the support staff. I've just thoroughly enjoyed it so far. It's really meant a lot to me, and I'm glad that they chose me in the draft.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about your background. You're an outfielder, correct?
Yes.
Left field, right field, center field, or do you play all of them?
All three. Whatever I can play that day, I'll do it.
All right. Growing up, have you always been outfielder? Are you catcher, pitcher? Did you play a little bit of everything, or what's kind of your makeup in sports and in baseball?
Since I throw left-handed, I've always been pretty much restricted to pitching first base in the outfield, but I used to pitch a lot more, but I stopped once I got to probably my junior year of high school, just to focus on the outfield.
So do you like playing the outfield? Is that something that you enjoy?
Yes, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's fun running down balls, getting to go run after the furthest hit balls. I think those are some of the more suspenseful plays of the game, and to be involved with those is something I really enjoy.
So how's your arm? Pretty good arm then to throw out guys from the outfield?
From time to time, I think it's pretty solid. Always a work in progress, but throwing a few guys out throughout the days.
What's it like going from college ball basically to pro ball? A big adjustment for you, or were you pretty much easily adapted to that?
Playing in the Big 12 in college, the competition level was so high, so I think that prepared me really well for the professional ranks. But the biggest difference for me was, instead of playing 4 days or sometimes 5 days a week in college, you play every day in pro ball, and you're constantly traveling. You're in a new city every 3 days, and it's just a constant baseball. Whereas in college, you're back at your campus for 5 days out of the week, and you get to relax a little bit. But pro ball is just a constant grind.
Hey, Darius, growing up, did you just play baseball, or did you do other sports like football, basketball, track, golf, hockey, anything like that? There is hockey, believe it or not, in Texas with is it the Stars down there? I think it's the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, Dallas Stars.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. So, did you do other things growing up?
I played a lot of basketball. I actually come from what I'd call a basketball family. My dad played basketball at Washington State, and my brother is at a Division II school called St. Edward's in Austin, Texas. He's currently playing at right now.
So how'd you get to baseball then? You got this basketball family. Is it just something that just came natural to you?
I think so. When I was a freshman in high school, I was still playing both sports, and I had a better freshman year of baseball, and I think playing in the summer, I was like, this is what I need to do. I always will have a spot in my heart for basketball, but at that time, baseball, it became clear to me that was what I needed to do and focus on for the rest of my life.
Hey, Darius, let's talk about 2019 Midwest League champion with the South Bend Cubs. How cool is that to get that ring, to know that you started off your career and you're already a champion, and you're going to work your way through the organization to starting off as a champ?
It was a great experience. I mean, to see that group of guys, I obviously joined very late in the season, but a group of guys that have been working hard throughout the year, and it was obviously a great chemistry that they had there, and they knew exactly what they needed to do to win. And once we got to the postseason, we didn't lose a single game, and I think those guys took a lot of pride in winning the championship, since they had won in Eugene the prior level the year before. And I think that's just a unique thing to have in a group of guys that are working towards the major leagues, and that they're there to get better, but they're also trying to win championships as well.
Hey, Darius, growing up in Texas, the weather's warm pretty much a lot of the time. I mean, there's a little bit of cold weather, but it's relatively good. Have you played baseball in cold weather places? Because once you get to Wrigley, it's going to be cold sometimes. Opening day, I've been to opening day and had on 3 coats. Have you done any baseball anywhere where it's been cold?
Yes, believe it or not, it gets cold in Texas too at the end of the fall season, and then sometimes when we're playing scrimmages in January and February. But the coldest baseball I've ever played was when I was in college at West Virginia. We would play early in the year. There'd be snow on the ground everywhere except the field, and it would just be so cold outside. So I think I do have a pretty good amount of experience playing in cold weather.
Darius, what was it like at spring training? I know this was your first year at spring training, but kind of a unique experience with spring training getting canceled. Tragedy going on in the world, in our country. But what was it like for you being out there in Arizona, being with the big league players that you aspire to be? How cool was that?
And it went to show me that you're so close to them all the time. You get to see how they go about their business. You're not necessarily with them a high amount of the day, but you get to see where they are, where you are is real close. And being with the other minor leaguers, you're all working towards that goal so you can both help each other and compete at the same time while striving towards making it to the other side of that clubhouse.
Darius, I appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time during this kind of unique time to talk to us on Sports Report Radio. We plan on following your career from South Bend to Myrtle Beach to Tennessee to Iowa, all the way to big league club. But as you progress, let's just keep talking and let's just stay in touch, and we'll follow your career. And I just appreciate you taking your time. Thanks, Darius. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.